Hello, it's March 2022. In a recent video, I kind of talked about a few people that were influencing or were influences in my life positively, like father figure types. And there's been a few videos that I noticed, just happened to watch short ones, and they've mentioned teachers, how there were certain teachers in their life that impacted them. And it got me thinking about, were there any teachers in my life that had any kind of significant impact or something? Now, during my public school, even junior high years, and even high school, I was going through a lot in my home life, and I don't really have very many fond memories of those times in my life. And so when it comes to teachers, maybe there was a couple that had some impact, but one that definitely had an impact on my life, and I've never forgotten about. Um, it was the most least person that anyone would have expected, and she was the teacher after a gang literally beat me, left me for dead. And when I had stumbled, like I crawled my way back to the school, and I remember I just got in the door into the hallway and fell over. And she happened to be coming down the hall, and she ran over and like kind of embraced me, like, and I think she was yelling for help. And then she ran because there was no one around. It was after school. She ran and she came back and comforted me after all that. And it's funny though, because in her class, I would ride her and then she would ride me. And she was a teacher that had some positive impact, especially at that time that I just described. And I remember at the time, I thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world. And she wasn't just beautiful, but she was a very powerful woman. She had that power. And I would still say that she's definitely up there, top three of the most beautiful women that I've ever met. And I actually had I ran into her once when I was modeling, and I had an opportunity that we had briefly talked, and I was like an adult, and I always regret not like asking her, like, let's just go for a coffee and just talk. And I wanted to. I remember after we were done talking, she walked away. I was like, I should have asked. So I really just wanted to say thank you uh, for being there, and even the times I was in her class. And yeah, that's somebody that I would have. I regret not saying, hey, you mind just going out for a coffee, innocently, and just talking. She was a wonderful woman, but whatever. She comes to mind once in a while, but definitely still top three most beautiful women that I've ever met. And she was a powerful woman, like in character, and really respected that in her. But I'll never forget that caring moment that when she was comforting me. So anyway, yeah, she stayed with me until the ambulance came. Now, just thinking some other teachers that had after. There was one kind of an odd teacher, and even the teachers would say that she was kind of odd. Didn't know her all that long. There's a whole story behind that based on a misunderstanding, but whatever. But I remember the last day of the school, that one particular school year. It was her last year there. I just ran into her in the hallway. I was leaving, and she goes, "Come and walk with me to my car and talk." And it was an interesting conversation. Maybe lasted 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but it was kind of, yeah. Some of the things that she said, I'm not going to get into the specifics. That I almost wondered. So there was that teacher, but and just trying to think. Oh, there was in high school. I had one of the shop teachers for electricity, electronics. A really good guy, and he really took an interest in me and everything else. And I remember he had all these old tube TVs on a shelf really high up. And I asked him one time, it was either before or after class, what are you doing with that? And he's saying that you can turn those into radar. And he just wanted to tinker around with them. I'm like, cool. And he was explaining it all to me. Obviously, that time was a lot of it that he was talking about was beyond anything that I could comprehend. But yeah, so in high school, so that maybe a little bit with my wrestling coach in high school, because I was already into martial arts and bodybuilding and kind of like a bodybuilding, powerlifting type of thing going, and so I had all that training, but having his perspective from, say, Roman Greco wrestling was it impacted my own training and expanded my knowledge. So, with regards to that, I would include him. But definitely the first teacher that I mentioned had the most impact on my life. And it'd be kind of cool to touch base and have that coffee, or I don't drink coffee, tea, but whatever. So yeah, I just thought I'd, for whatever, just sharing a little bit more about my life. And as I said in the previous video, I was talking about sharing some stories on how life developed me and so forth. So this is just an expansion of that, and whatever it's worth, nothing exciting, nothing woo-ah. At least you get to know me a little bit better, right? So anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, when is it going to get easier? When you die.